Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at nbnrpodcast.com.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Utter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me. He's like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you go get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR.
Kyle on the ones and twos.
That was nice.
Yep, on the buttons.
With the quickness. Go Big Red indeed. No block, no rock. Season 3, episode 43.
Man, we're getting up there.
The Terrell Farley episode. That's right. We are in the hot-ass brewery.
It's not that hot.
Fucking
Calm down.
hot.
Well, I mean, I was outside on lawns all day. This feels amazing.
Good.
Well, good for you. Because this shit sucks.
Or at a graduation on Saturday out at Memorial Stadium where it was hotter than hot. I had long sleeve shirt because in the morning it was cold.
Yep.
And now my head is nice and sunburned on the top.
Oh,
That's good.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
I'm sunburnt all over. I get it.
Yeah, not worth. I mean, it was worth it, right? After graduation from UNL, it's worth it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Connor's nose is looking Rudolphy.
Hey, speaking of
I
Connor.
look like Jared right now.
You do.
I'm all red.
Speaking of Connor, he is joining us today on his birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. How old are you? 32?
I am 28 today.
Dang it.
Damn.
So close.
It's that mustache.
It's that stash.
If you didn't have the stash, you would have said, are you
I would have
13
said
today?
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I mean, I have 3 daughters, so I got to be careful about that stash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to be careful with that stash, man. I don't know how you do it, man. It doesn't. Do people always comment on it, right?
pretty frequently.
Constantly.
Yeah,
Pretty
you're
frequently.
like, that's my attention getter. I don't have anything else, but I got this.
Yeah, because my personality sucks. So I kind of use this as like, you know,
It's a conversation
crutch.
starter.
Yes, it is a good conversation starter.
They're like, what the fuck is that?
Do they say
And then you
normally?
just-
You know another a good conversation starter
Is it back?
Normally, I prefer backdoor.
There it is.
There it is.
I thought that button was gone.
No, it's your birthday button.
Oh, God damn it.
We'll make sure to get all of our uses in today.
Yeah. No, I flew back in from Colorado today, and there was no shot in hell I was missing my birthday episode. I knew I was
DJ KDUB here. Are you kidding
Not
me?
with KDUB here.
I appreciate it, boys. I appreciate it. I love watching what you guys are doing, who you guys are having, how the stories keep rolling, talking about Huskers on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and off the field.
Yeah.
It's a mind blown, right?
That's the good stuff. And that's what you're kind of doing on Wired Access as well. You just kind of the behind the scenes stuff, right?
Yeah, the stuff that you just want people to understand that you're not alone in the process that you go through. Whether you're looking, I mean, so many people are like, I want D1, I want D1. How many MLB baseball players went JUCO route to start? I mean, look at Cade Povich, a Husker.
Yeah.
Pitched his butt off down in Arizona, then went and played for this Savannah Bananas, which everybody now wants to go see.
Exactly.
Right? Them in their kilts, right?
Yeah.
That's probably your best part. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting that vibe. I'm just getting that vibe.
I hate that he's so right.
He met you 5 minutes ago. He's already got the kilt
I got
down.
it right on.
He
I got it
He's
right
got me
on.
pegged.
It's a birthday kilt, right?
Got you what?
Normally,
Peg?
There it is. Hey, that's 2.
Yeah, well, there's not a limit on your birthday.
There's no
God
birthday
damn.
limit, baby.
This is and we haven't used it in like months, so.
I'm regretting coming back.
No, happy birthday. I mean, what better way to celebrate it than with the fellas?
Then my friends shit talking me. I could name like 1,000.
Dude, if you weren't here, your friends would be shit talking you anyway.
Yeah, that's
I mean-
fair. I just wouldn't be able to defend myself.
Yeah, at least you get to come back a little bit. I mean, I don't know what you say to the kilt thing, except for, he got me pegged.
Yeah.
Literally
He
and
got me
physically.
pegged.
Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't say physically.
Not yet.
I mean, do we talk about
This
the beers
episode's-
we're drinking? Or are we,
Yeah,
are we
let's
just-
talk
get
about the
into that.
beers
All
we're drinking.
Well, I'm drinking Florida Man, the key lime pie beer.
All right.
Again, it's really good.
That's what I'm drinking too.
I'm
Now-
gonna be honest, guys. I'm not a brewery type guy.
Okay.
This is awesome. I've never had it.
Oh,
What is
is
it?
he drinking the EOS?
That's the EOS.
Oh, that's the best beer on tap.
It tastes so smooth. Like,
What would you
I don't-
say? What would you say is the flavor you're getting the most? Like, what are you tasting?
Kind of like a vanilla.
Okay.
I mean, it's I can't even put like
banana.
That's
a little
actually
bit
like
banana like type. Yeah,
banana and vanilla are like the two big ones on there.
But for me,
There you go.
and I don't even really like bananas, but I don't feel like it's not bringing me down. Like I don't feel like it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like a lot of ales and all that are, and that's why I can't get into them because I'm like,
well, that is
I'm already
an ale.
I know, but I'm saying why I normally don't drink.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, I'm already a big guy. I don't need more heavy stuff, man.
Yeah.
But this is awesome. I appreciate it. This is great hospitality along with the food. Pulled pork came in clutch. I just got off work and came right here.
Long day mowing lawns.
Long enough to take a shower, which was blessing for you guys. I just want to let you know. When the wife says that, she goes, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, hey, I'm outside sweating because I'm a guy that like I wear long sleeves. I wear a hat. I'm all covered because that sun will kill you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you gotta be.
I've seen someone with like a hole in his head because he had too much sun and he had like a skin thing and it looked like a bullet hole almost. So I'm like, not my game.
Nah.
Not
Right
my
here?
game. Yeah.
Bruh.
Seriously though.
The ginger.
The ginger alone.
I think you were burning. He was at my daughter's first birthday on Saturday, and I think he was burning underneath the tent that we had set up.
I'm like, this tent sucks.
You could see him shifting every time the shade started to move.
So
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
with these lights, I think you might need to move them just a little bit this way.
Yeah.
Don't need to get a little more sun.
I'm suffering over here.
We'll put a little umbrella above
Fuck.
him.
Turn the lights off. Nah, but Kyle, what you drinking, buddy?
I am drinking the Hefeweizen as well. The
Oh
EOS.
my gosh!
Every week, and all of a sudden, it's like every week.
I can't believe I used to drink that beer almost every week. It felt like, and every time you just listen to me, and you'd be like, "I'm having the taco beta," and then I'd be like,
Every week.
every week."
Yeah.
I'm like, Kyle, you should. And then a few weeks ago, was it 5 weeks ago
It's
when
like
you
5
started
or 6
drinking it?
weeks.
I was like, Kyle, you should just try the EO. See if it hits the flavor town there for you.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah, that was painful.
I didn't know where I was going with it, but it's fine.
But it is good.
You opened your palate and you don't regret it.
No.
He opened
Right?
up that throat.
Well,
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did.
but these aren't
Nope.
solo cups.
There's no button
so-
for that. There's no button for that one.
Not yet.
Pilsner boy?
Yeah. So actually, I feel like I'm going to spoil what Mike's about to say. I'm the only one here not drinking a Florida Man or an EOS.
Yep.
I am drinking Pilsner, which is, if you have not heard before, I drink Pilsner every week.
He's so boring. He drinks Pilsner every day, actually. He works here. His parents
I was
own
gonna
the
say,
place.
like,
here.
how do you not like? You make your own. Like you make your own to go. Man, I want to try that.
Yeah.
Well,
Or is
I try everything we put on.
But nothing.
So looking at me, like, what do you guess I weigh? Like 190, 200?
Maybe
87.
165, 150, soaking wet. But go ahead.
150. You're like
Yeah.
almost dead on. This is a low alcohol beer, so I can have a bunch of these and not be like Mike in a half hour.
Oh,
Well,
I mean, it's
but-
a half an hour.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
But no, so I drink this. It's light. It's crisp. It's a great Pilsner. It's like one of the best Pilsners I've had in the country. And I just, not to brag, just
Win
spent
awards for this.
3 days trafficking myself across the state of Colorado. Still could not find one as good as this. So I drink this every day because not only can I have a bunch of them, but it's low in alcohol.
so when
It's a
you're
big
doing
win.
this traveling and
Yeah.
you're trying out other flavors, what's your thoughts through the process? Are you really like sitting there and just
Oh yeah, I'm a snob. No, we don't do the swish.
Twirls it around.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get. What all do you do with it? Just you don't swirl around, you don't
No.
swish.
So there's like two things you do. First thing you do is smell the beer.
Okay.
Because and this is gonna get nerdy for all the listeners out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So 95% of what you taste comes from what you smell.
Okay.
So what if it smells good? You're probably if you like the smell, you're probably gonna like the taste.
Okay.
And then when you drink it, you just fill your mouth with it and drink it.
And drink it
That's
like
it,
normal.
yeah.
Drink
Yeah.
it like normal. I got you.
You don't have to swish or anything.
Nothing. Nothing. Just let your nose lead the way, and if you like it, you're good.
Yeah, beer drinking's easy. It is the everyman sport if you consider it one. I do.
Yeah.
I compete very heavily.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you do bags, darts?
Oh, dude, I fuck.
Not well.
I
Not
fuck
well.
in bags.
He does them.
Not well.
Like I said last week, I got boards right over there. You want to work after this episode? I'll give it to you.
Hey, okay. So speaking of that, I think we've decided Memorial Day. We don't have a guest lined up, but I think Me and the boys are going to come in here. We're going to put the bags down.
Yeah.
We've got Ultimate Frisbee in here. You got a grill.
Ultimate disc golf, not
golf.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not athletic for that.
Yeah, frolf. Okay. So we're going to get the grill going. We're going to record an episode, just the boys, on Memorial Day. So just be prepared for that. I just wanted to throw that out.
It's going to be a good time. There might be some videos going on or something.
I'm going to be half-cocked through that episode.
Yeah. So anyways.
So I don't think Pilsner is going to fit for next week.
Oh,
That's
it will.
what I'm
just going to drink a lot of them.
No, cold beer.
Oh, cold beer also fucks.
Well, yeah. But you don't drink it.
Mike, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Florida Man.
I know.
Because I feel like I'm in Florida with the humidity in here.
Seriously, though,
it feels like
Dude, it's not that bad in here. This is not that bad.
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
Get it, Kendall.
I did not
Get it.
wear something under my hat like I normally do because I don't like to ruin my hats because I thought it was going to be air conditioned. Now I'm kind of just having to make sure I don't get that rim nice as
You
sweat.
gotta spray it.
Yeah,
so I got this spray now for all my new hats. This one I already fucked. But you start spraying it with your on your hat, and then you don't get the sweat stains.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah.
But I'm also a guy that likes to wear something because when I turned 40, I just stopped cutting my hair. I used to be a knuckle tight haircut, like smooth. I haven't cut it in 2 years or a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've never had long hair ever. So
No,
it's
me
long.
either.
And I just want to keep it out of my face. I
Yeah.
don't know how people deal with those things.
No, I
Or
shave my
touching
head
the
every 3
ears.
weeks.
I
Every
just
3
don't
weeks.
Get it?
Yeah, I just say
I used to shave his head. When we lived together, we'd give each other haircuts.
both of them.
I would.
What?
I was gonna say I would
What's
kill
fun?
to see pictures of that, but now I'm not so sure that I would.
Keep those pictures
Yeah.
off the web.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I'm
boy.
curious to know what your head looks like.
All right,
Like, I want to know what your head looks
So
like.
first, let me tell you.
What's
So
underneath that?
I have worn a hat probably about 90 to 95% of my time with my wife. Like, and we've been together since high school. Like, I always have a hat. She goes, the only thing I don't like is because I'm not used to seeing your hair. So anytime I take my hat off, she does go, put it back on. Put it back on.
So you sleep with a hat on, then, right?
No, it's dark. You better deal with deal. But in the flip side, it isn't like they don't like. She still puts her hands through it. Like it's kind of like it has to grow different.
So I have a similar thing. My girlfriend makes me wear a ski mask all the time I'm around her.
But what you're not telling is where your legs go through the ski mask. I got you. The third leg. Gotcha. All right, I'll take it off now. Now, just know, I mean, it's nice and freshly washed and everything. Hold on.
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
all right.
That's nice.
It's long.
like
It is
it.
long. That is long hair.
I like
She
it.
hates it.
Yeah.
She's like, you better pull that hair back. So that's why I also wear something because I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
See,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
before you took the hat off, I just imagine you were bald.
Well, that's what most people say.
Yeah.
Every time like I have or else they're like, man, you got a lot of hair. I'm like, this is a first. Just trust me.
It doesn't normally look
first.
like this.
No, it's nice. Always, I used to get the fresh fade. Now even I asked for a fade here, and she's like, well, you want to keep your sides long so it matches and it all. You know how hairstylists do. I don't know. I'm not one.
Yeah.
I just let them tell me what to do. What do
Exactly.
you do? Just like a wife, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, what do you want me to do? Well, we're going to trim here. We're going to cut. Okay, whatever you want.
Fun fact, I haven't paid for a haircut since middle school.
Oh, man.
That is fun.
I shave my head myself every 3 weeks.
See, I used to do my own hair. It just wasn't great. And then once you like get a professional to do it, if you have the hair to do it,
Yeah,
then it's hard to go any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I gave some of my friends a haircut that their dad had, like the reverse mullet, where you just cut out the middle up here. And I'm like, see, this is what your dad looks like. This is what you're going to look like in yours. So you better get used to it.
That's right.
I mean, the kid, it was when we were 19, 20, but it doesn't matter. He understood where he was going to look in the future.
Yeah.
Now the dude doesn't have hair and he has it shaved all the way. So I gave him the warning at the age of 19. Nothing wrong with that, right?
No, there's not.
Just
Just
okay.
embrace it, baby. Embrace
One last note on the hair topic. I go to the same barber as our good pal DB and Kenny Bell. So
fun fact.
Yeah, I did see when Kenny put that out there. Of course, I mean, dude, everybody threw out Southside. I mean, there's some good ones out there.
Yeah.
You just have to, have the time.
Yeah.
You already know you got to have some time. My wife, I remember when I went to a professional barber, she goes, what took so long? I'm like, do I say that when you get your hair did?
Yeah.
Never.
That's a 4-hour ordeal.
Yeah.
It's just-
She's like, what took you so long? I'm like, dude, he's like fresh out of school, like 3 years. He's still learning and still getting quicker. I don't know.
Let him experiment on me a little
we
bit.
just shoot the shit. We just
Well,
hang
I
out.
did
Yeah.
because I was actually opening up in Sioux City for Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Mike Jones. It was weird because it was like a Latin hip hop club. So to see him vibe to me playing Latin music, but with the hip hop words on it or vice versa, was kind of cool over in the corner. But I did get my hair done with like a little slash and all this cool stuff. You know, I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to let my guy do it. But it did take almost 3 hours, and my wife was upset.
Yeah.
So
You ever consider getting lightning bolts?
I did for that. I did.
Hell
But
yeah.
besides that, I'm out. Just cut my hair.
Lightning bolts are dumb.
I am a basic bitch. I don't do anything. No, nothing extra.
Now hold on. Is it because of the lack of hair or the lack of wanting to have it?
No, so my hair grows out like a chia pet.
Okay.
It just keeps going like this. It never actually goes down like most people's hair.
I got you.
So, and then I have like this birthmark on the back of my head that looks like bird shit. So
He told me in high school or middle school that his mom accidentally spilled bleach on him, and it just stayed that way.
yeah. That's simple.
Accidentally is.
yeah, my grandma has the same birthmark in the same spot, but she colors hers.
Oh, okay.
Me, like it'd be just kind of weird. So.
I will say this just before we get into the football talk. NBNR TikTok just hit 7,000 followers.
Hey, let's get a round of applause.
About fucking time. Jesus Christ.
7,000.
So-
You fucking
I will say this right now.
people.
When we hit 10,000,
Uh-oh.
I will commit right now to get lightning bolts shaved into the side of my head.
Oh yeah.
All right, noted.
Noted.
10,000.
Noted.
Now we're gonna boost it to get those extra 3,000. If it's
10,000.
next week, it's next week.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
10,000 TikTok followers for NBNR Podcast. It's at NBNR Podcast. I will shave lightning bolts into both sides of my heads.
And
Just
no,
know
let's
I'm
double
helping
down.
for that. I'm helping for that.
Double down.
That is a
You
double
shave
down.
your mustache off.
No, that's not. No.
Let's think about it.
Non-starter.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what, at 100,000.
No,
that'll never happen though.
Whoa.
10,000.
Oh,
hold
what?
on.
You don't believe in our content? You don't
No.
believe in
Hey.
the king over here?
Hey,
No.
Now, are you the one that can grow it quick? Do you have to shave the rest every week?
No.
Okay, then never mind.
No,
You
I-
don't shave it off
So-
because it won't grow back quick enough.
I can tell you right now, my mustache's birthday is October 3rd, 2019.
So it just
That sounds like a joke. It's not.
so you're
It was
telling me
October 3rd,
This is the
2019.
longest that I've had this longer, and I've never been able to grow because there's like a patch here, and I hate it.
Yeah.
But it got to too long, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
It
So-
interrupts things.
I trim it, but October 3rd, 2019, and I've never not had it for what will be 4 years.
and you don't shave the rest of your face.
I shaved today,
Oh.
actually.
Oh, I was about to ask you. So it grows in all white trashy like that.
Damn.
I'm not Joe Dirt. That's
it's
a running
dirt
joke.
day, okay?
Joe Dirt
Dirt
doesn't
day.
Don't try and French it up.
You got to French it up like Tarjay. Come on, man.
All right, let's get into some football talk.
Do you want to talk some football? I mean,
Yeah.
okay. I just thought
It's
we
the
were on a
off-season.
roll. We were on a roll with the hair.
We
All
were.
right, real quick. Football.
Okay.
Real quick. No, it's a good thing. It's
Okay,
not
yeah,
bad. With the way that the Huskers have been playing, has it ever changed the way you look at football and Husker football? I only say it so there's two things that have changed me. One, being a high school coach for 8 years. I mean, failures are all about football. But then two, I just like look at the defense. Like I look at a player and I'm like, you're not seeing this guy do this, like, and why some things are happening, or why we run the ball 7 times. You're not seeing what it builds up. Do you ever look at it that way?
I think the way I look at it is I'm so numb from watching Nebraska football the last 10 years, it feels like.
7.
I watch football all day on Saturday, and I know what I'm watching when I watch Nebraska play is not going to look anything like all the other games I watch because they are just – I don't want to say they're not in the same league because I think it's never been a talent thing. It's just they've been so poorly coached for so long. I just know what good football looks like, and that just was never it.
I think to jump onto exactly what you're saying, for the last 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it is, Nebraska football has always felt like a rebel without a cause. Like there was no rhyme or reason to what was really going on down there. And sometimes it worked, and that was great. But a lot of times it didn't. And there were a lot of head scratchers where Mike is punching walls and Jared is headbutting TVs, screaming, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Peter Pan!
Yeah. Why are you onside-ing? You're up 2 scores.
He got a 2-yard gain on a 2nd and 1, and you're doing a Peter Pan. He got a first.
They were rebels without a cause.
No identity. I totally get it. I get it.
So that's, and not to lead into that part of it, but I think that's why I'm most excited about Matt Rule, is Matt Rule has a cause. Like, he has what he wants to do. He has a reason.
He's a rebel.
But I thought we all thought we knew what Frost wanted. We all thought
Frost wanted to fuck bartenders.
Well, I mean,
No, you know who wanted to fuck bartenders? Former head coach Scott. We don't say that on the pod. Correct you there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Correct.
The fucking bartender's part is fine. It's the Frost part that's not.
There it is.
Yes.
That part's fine. You just can't say the other part.
No,
Yeah,
you can't.
that's
say
on me. I should have
Dumbass.
known better.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there.
Hey, that was my birthday wish, is that I got to say it one time.
I think you said it twice.
how about for you? So, what's your thoughts?
I mean, you guys kind of said it. Like, there's no identity. But like, it just got me thinking how Nebraska for 40 years, for literally 40 years, the most successful college football program of those 40 years, the most winningest. And like, you think about that, and it's just not going to happen again. The fact that those 40 years happened, it was like an anomaly. It was like a fucking meteorite shot through the universe and it landed.
But no one looks at it that way. They don't understand. Like, Tom Osborne would not have gotten the years he had this day and age.
He would have been fired.
He would have been fired.
Yeah.
Like,
probably. You know, and I think
no, probably. Come on.
It's just
Twitter would have ate him.
Social media, yeah.
Social media would have.
Well, sure.
Especially the shit that happened behind the closed doors. Like, we didn't run a squeaky clean program. Like, people forget that. The people that reminisce on the 90s and shit.
Right.
Forget about
those
anabolic
fans.
steroids.
And those fans aren't the people that run this show. But the people that reminisce, they tend to forget those little things, those little details of the shit that was going on behind closed doors. I mean,
I'm just saying.
it's
Well,
fine.
I'll just say for those 40 years, it was 9 games, never winning less than 9.
Yeah.
And so
Are you talking about
these
Bo
past. Stop it.
I was just checking.
Just saying, because there was some shit that happened after, and 5 win seasons and stuff before that. Just let me finish my freaking point. I don't even really know where I'm going with this, but no, I mean, so much success for 40 years, and it's like, I look at it, and it has changed my expectations, like, forever. Like, I look at Nebraska as, let's get to 8 and get to 10 in a lucky year.
Yeah.
Like, dare I say, like Iowa. Like, I just think that we're kind of
remember that time we beat Iowa?
So I want to bring this up because I'm not saying that Nebraska is going to be back to national prominence soon.
Oh boy.
I'm not saying that.
Oh boy.
He's going to say natty, isn't he?
No, I'm absolutely not. But how many years were between Bear Bryant and Nick Saban, where Alabama was a national powerhouse, and then kind of, I mean, they didn't fall to the depths that Nebraska has in the last 6-7 years, but I mean, they fell kind of to the middle part of things.
Sure.
And again, Nebraska did fall to the lower end. No one is disputing that.
The lower end that no one ever thought they would see in a lifetime.
No,
Never.
No, but
So bad.
to say that they'll never be back to national prominence, I think is maybe a little bit short-sighted. I think that it will take time.
Not consistent. I don't think it will be consistently.
Not like a 40-year stretch.
Definitely not.
In the modern landscape of football, I mean, perennial powerhouses have essentially been set, especially with NIL. I mean, you're going to be looking at the Alabama, Ohio States, Georgias, whatever. You're going to see those schools sitting at the top for a long time, but that doesn't mean that other schools won't get there. Frankly, I mean, prior to this last year, I didn't really consider, like, honestly, even during this last season, I was like, no, there's no fucking shot TCU stands a chance. I mean, they made it to the Natty. Sure, the score was 65-7, but they did make it.
You don't win or
there.
lose on the scores, right?
Yeah, but
God.
to say that Nebraska will never make it back to that stage, I think is short-sighted.
I think they can.
I think
But
would be a Tennessee.
it'd be a flash in the pan. It's not going to be sustained over 5 years, let alone 40.
But a flash in the pan creates more success. I mean, we talked so much about the Raiola recruitment and how much that would mean for Nebraska moving forward in the future.
Mike
Getting
Riley
that
won 9
flash in the-
games.
So is TCU going to be back in the CFP? Like, I just don't.
I don't think they get another Max Dug. I mean,
that's the thing.
That
Right,
dude was
Flash.
a stud.
right?
Yeah, but
They got a nice player.
But that flash helped TCU's recruiting and is going to help them build towards the future.
Sure.
So it.
I think
you
they'll
get,
be in the
you
top-
get 3, 4, 5
top
flashes,
25,
and
right?
you're going to
They
get
need
back
a
to that
home.
national prominence.
They need a home. They're in the Big 12, and the Big 12, after the Power 2 comes around, all those teams in the Big 12 are going to be fucked. They're back to where they were, the Group of 5 kind of shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. You get, again, one flash, meh. You get 3, 4, 5, and you suddenly start building back towards that kind of, holy shit, these guys are the real deal.
Yeah, but those teams that...
I'm not saying it's happening anytime
No, I'm just saying, like, those teams, they just have so much more going for them
Right now.
geographically. We are Nebraska, throw a dart at the middle of the dartboard. We're right in the middle.
Where do you live? That's always the best
yeah.
thing.
But where has Matt Rule's recruiting consistently been the best?
In the South. In the South.
I rest my point.
Well, sure, but like,
yeah,
that's
but
not going to be like totally dependable all the time.
No,
but you're in
but if you're
Alabama, right?
competing-
You throw a rock. Oh, I just hit a 5-star. Oh, cool.
You get that first slash, it becomes slightly more dependable. You get that second, it becomes a little bit more.
But you got to
You have to
do
build.
that.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't done that for a
again,
long time.
And I
KB?
agree.
What you got?
I was just going to say, I mean, something along the lines of like Mike. It's like you end up watching these teams and they go up and they get some crazy upset. Let's talk about like Purdue beating Ohio State after they get 4 or 5 interceptions and whatever.
Or at Appalachian State over Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You watch that stuff, right?
I watch that
And
game
you're
every
like-
night when I go to sleep.
Yeah. And you're like, damn, like, where did that come from? That team looked great. And then you're like, you know what? They are a pretty good team. You never, ever, ever, it seems like, in the last 10 years, see Nebraska go and take down somebody that they are highly favored against.
No.
You just never see that kind of football coming out of Memorial Stadium.
Jared, really quick, can you look up in the last like 5 to 7 years what our record is against top 25 teams?
It's not good.
I know it's not good. I want to make myself hurt.
I
I
don't
think
even
we've
think
got
we
like
have one.
I think we've got like 3.
No, I saw the tweet from that stupid Iowa Nebraska fan.
I'll just say this. The very first thing I see is Nebraska has now lost 19 consecutive games against AP-ranked opponents. So,
Sick.
your point.
19 straight gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
And for an Iowa fan to even talk anything like that just blows my mind. Like I would love an empty trophy case as well. That's so mediocrity awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, I
drive
don't
me
know
nuts.
how. I just don't know how they do it. I'm like, how do you wake up in the day and go, I'm going to challenge this day, but I might get beat, and that's okay.
I'll just say this. Like, I am so glad Nebraska has the past that it has.
Yes.
Because that is what we lean on
have
whenever
to.
we argue against Iowa fans. We will always have those 5 natties. Can never take that away from us, damn it.
No, they have 5 natties too. They were like in the 20s and shit, and they somehow claimed
Before
those.
black people played football with everybody else. Yeah.
We also
Not good.
And they played like YMCA East and YMCA North, and it's funny that Iowa fans always say Nebraska, they always live in the past. But recently, do you remember that time we beat Iowa? Right? Yeah. So, but if we say that, because most recently we actually beat them.
What have you done for me lately?
They're like, well, what about the last 5 years? No.
7.
Iowa fans love to live in the past, right? Like that's what I'm saying.
Have you ever
Well, it's
just
convenient.
Have you ever asked an Iowa fan, how are you an Iowa fan? Have you?
Yeah, one of my best friends is an Iowa fan. Never lived in the state of Iowa, not from Iowa, grew up in Missouri, is an Iowa fan because his mom's family's from there.
See, that's all that I've ever heard. Like, that was a coworker. I go, how'd you get it? Well, one of my best friends was an
My
Iowa
mom's
fan.
cousin's dog fucked a cow from Iowa.
So, and they had incest, but who cares?
It's in the family.
I will give credit to
It's your
one,
cow.
I will give credit to one Iowa fan.
No.
It is my cousin. She listens to every episode.
Oh, Sarah. She does not
Yeah,
fucking
it-
listen.
It is no, she does.
She does
texts
not
me,
fucking
She texts me
listen.
about every episode.
So
Fuck
then
Sarah and fuck Iowa.
She
better
grew up in Iowa.
answer off of that one.
She grew up in Iowa.
Okay.
She still listens to every MER episode, and I still talk shit almost daily about how Iowa sucks. And she does do the whole thing about like, oh, what about the last 7 years? Suck it. We won the last one.
24-17.
Oh, wait. And I'm not great at counting. How many times did we beat them in basketball this year?
Both times.
Oh,
2 times.
damn.
2 of 2.
So
Like the maximum amount that you could have.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey-o.
It's incredible.
Iowa fans, if you need a therapist, they are plentiful online. There are online. We'll link some phone numbers in the description.
No, we won't.
should.
No, we
link
won't.
Some mediocre.
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 I see where you're going.
Counselors for them because they don't need the excellent ones.
No, they don't want
They don't
the ones
know
that
what
win.
excellence. Yeah, they don't need the excellence. They just need the bottom line.
Yeah,
Give me
they're-
the cheapest.
They'd be content.
Give me the cheapest.
They'd be content with a therapist that says, "Are you breathing? Well, that's good enough." And they're like, "Yeah, good point." You know?
Did you watch the game this weekend? Yeah, I was very stressed. You might not want to watch the games anymore. This just might not be the atmosphere for you.
Listen, that's us when we're watching Nebraska.
No shit.
Have you seen the trophy cabinet? Yeah. Stop looking.
Do they have one? That's the biggest thing. There has to be one, right?
I pray that they have one and that it's just dusty.
Right. It's just
And they
dust.
just like don't even bother dusting. It's like, well, we're not fucking putting shit in this thing anytime
Leave
soon.
the spider webs. It shows we won something.
We don't need it to look nice.
It has 2 big circles in dust because Iowa State and Nebraska both beat them, and that was the only trophies in there. And now those trophies are no longer there.
It's just a
They
circle.
gone.
2
Just
circles.
2 big circles in dust.
There you go.
Really quick before we end the Iowa shit talk, Sarah, suck it. Suck it. All right, moving on.
All right.
Let's. We're actually at break, so let's go.
Already?
Let's go top our beers off.
Holy shit.
Haircuts and Hawkeyes, and here we go.
Yeah.
Haircuts and Hawkeyes. Mics are hot. I just did that for me.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
Thanks, Troy. Before we went to break, we were talking shit on Iowa a little bit.
That's always fun.
That's always a good way to go into a break. You know what I'm saying? And Kendall, you had asked DJ KDUB, by the way.
KDUB.
You had asked, with the recent shortcomings of Nebraska football, how has it changed? Right?
Yeah.
How has it changed the way that you watch the team? And I'm in the bathroom just now, and I'm thinking, yeah, I was in the bathroom, and I'm thinking, what's another good answer I could have for this? And I would say that every W is precious. I don't care if they beat North Dakota, Iowa, of course, Iowa,
Minnesota this year.
Colorado this year. Doesn't matter who the team is. Doesn't matter where it's at. Every W is precious. And I hold on to it like I'm Gollum. My precious.
But you don't do like the Tommy Boy and you rub it, you touch it, and you rub it more, and then you throw it away. There goes your loss the next week.
I haven't
That's
taken
probably
it
what
that.
happens.
I haven't taken it that far, but I have turned into Gollum,
Okay.
and I kind of look like him now. So
All right,
that's kind of my answer. Is back in the day, maybe we would have taken wins for granted because it just happens so many times.
Yeah, you get bored.
You get bored, right?
Yeah.
9 wins. Oh my God.
Can we get 10 or 11, please?
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
10
on,
or
Tom.
11. Jesus.
Gone are the days where you're like, you know what? We can skip the first half. I'm going to have some beers out in the parking lot. No, those days are over. You show up early, you sit down, and then you just pray to God you beat North Dakota.
Because even that was a little up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Took a miracle Trey Palmer catch on 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, that's my answer.
I like that you rethought it because, you really were like, man, I could do better. And the better answer is a win. I mean, obviously, taking them, enjoying them. But do you still analyze them, look at them as deep as you do a loss?
I think now since we do the
absolutely.
podcast, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I
I'd
think
say
we
that.
analyze wins harder than we do losses.
Yeah.
And so that's, I guess, an interesting point where we talk about shit. I lost my point here.
Well, you analyze the wins more than the losses because it helps you from staying away from your therapist 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you win that?
Seriously.
Kyle,
I haven't seen you this week, Kyle. What's going on? Oh, the Huskers won. Let me start there.
So, actually, Jared, it was to your point where you talk about gone are the days where you skip the first half. Or Kyle, maybe you said that. Kyle, sorry. Kyle said maybe you skip the first half, you have a couple beers because, I don't really care about the first half. And, now the days are where you have to go in early and you need to watch those games.
They need me.
And I think
They don't.
What's really interesting about this transition to the rule administration, the rule regime, if you will, is the fact that I think it's the same thing where you want to be in there early, but for a separate reason. Where during the previous administration, under former head coach Scott, you were in there because you wanted to see maybe they'll figure it out in year 4.5. But
It's
now
this game. They're going to figure it out this game.
And you know what? Northwestern, when we kicked the ever-loving shit out of them, I'm like, oh, hey, look, here we go.
We're getting them.
Here we go. And then it turns out that they're just really bad.
But now I think we're in an era where fans are going to want to be in early to see if Matt Rule, and we've had a number of players, we've had a number of guests. Damon Benning spoke very highly of Matt Rule. And I think this is still an era where you want to be in early to see, like, what's he going to do? Is this really going to be the transition of Nebraska coming back to, again, not national prominence quite yet, but coming back to a semblance of a respectable program?
So then where's your leash? How far do you let that go this time?
So if you look at
if that name, we let that go a long time. We thought next year for sure. For sure.
So one thing I look at, and the one thing I caution Husker fans about, is if you look at Matt Rule's first year at Temple and his first year at Baylor, they were far from stellar. They were far from stellar.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at what he did with both of those programs in year 2 and 3, leaps and bounds. So we don't need to be shooting for the moon right now.
No, get a win.
As Husker fans, and I know it's tough because we're Husker fans. We all think of the 90s, as we were talking about earlier, is take year 1 for what it is. This is, people talk about, rebuilds and refreshes. This is a rebuild. And so give Matt Rule his time here in year 1. 6 wins, and I know we talk about consistently, and I'm sure you're going to get this question later. If you call it a 6-win season, you're a coward.
Coward.
Yeah.
Pick a side.
Pick a side, winning or losing.
Pick a side.
Yes.
But
I can give you my answer to that question after about 6 games. I truly think you should be able to see a tremendous difference in what we were watching for the last 5 years compared to what we should be watching. Mike talked about it. You watch other football programs and you watch and you're like, that's football. That's good coached football.
Yes.
Frankly, but hold on. Last year, you can't say the defense and the offense didn't grow like they were supposed to under a circumstance that none of us would ever want to be involved in.
Right.
Agreed.
The defense went from, man, do we even have a defense, to they're shutting people. They're actually doing their job, and the growth. So it's like, I get that you're asking for a little time, but we've seen that you could take. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you're going this way because I'm on the other side of the fence too, where in this era of college football, it does not take that long.
No.
You should know, I don't want to say right away, but you should know very quickly if you're going to be good or not. Josh Heupel at Tennessee, they were a freaking national powerhouse last year, right? He's been there for 2 years. It didn't take him 4 or 5 years. TCU, first-year coach, national championship. Not saying that's going to happen in Nebraska with Matt Rule, but I'm just saying it does not take that long with the transfer portal to get good quickly.
I feel that I have a very, very easy benchmark. I think it's fair that for a starting quarterback, 2 years. He gets 1 season to just kind of get into that offense, get things going, get chemistry with his team. A head coach to determine whether they're going to be the guy or not, 3 years. At 3 years, if you are continuing to fail, which we saw. Yeah. At 3 years, if you are not showing any sort of progress, it becomes a discussion.
I think it's about 2.
And even with
For a head coach, I think it's 3.
For a quarterback like Sims, though, you can't give 2 years.
No, he doesn't have 2 years.
He doesn't have 2 years.
He has 2 years, but
but I'm saying you can't even give him that because he has played Division I football.
And he's got 2 years. But again, so with that experience, I'm talking about bringing in young guys, or like with Matt Rule coming back from the NFL. 3 years is a fair thing. Again, looking at what he did with Temple and Baylor, year 1 historically has not been great. That is the rebuild year. Year 2 and year 3 are where you see that big progress.
This is
Jeff
a different
Sims
situation,
is kind of an outlier. But that's my thing with Rule is, where do you draw that line? And you said, 6 games, and I can tell. I don't think that's the case with Rule. Again, looking at his history as a college head coach, I think year 1, if you get to that 6-win mark, that's a great sign. He didn't do that at Temple or Baylor in his first year. Neither of them.
But I think after the 6 games, what I like, what he's probably also thinking of, and I could be wrong here, but is just thinking the growth, the movement in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
we have seen the 1-score games. I mean,
that's what I'm about to say. The same thing.
No
it's like
way.
you've been this close for this long. It's not a talent issue, guys.
No.
It's between the ears.
It's the finish. It's just a finish.
So my question, Mike.
Adult in the room.
You say it is between the ears.
Yes.
Do you believe that is due to the players or due to the coaching?
It's coaching. Yes.
Thank you.
But we're talking about it's both.
It is both. But the
what he's
largest
saying is
impact over the last couple of seasons has not been due to the players.
But
It's
if
been
we
due to the
missed
coaching
it by
staff.
that little should be
Yes.
the rule.
That
little should be the rule, right?
Yes.
It should be him. He
Yes.
should be that little. Yes,
I've
it's
said it
not
a
the
billion
same team.
times.
It's not the same team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at all the seniors that are gone and all the players that went to the NFL.
we lost a lot of
We
good
lost
players.
a lot. But that defense went from dead last to something.
and they're
with
still
losing all them
mostly
seniors.
there.
Yes.
After Scott left.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah.
The thing that and I'm not going to put a win total on it or anything, but I recall versus Purdue, the home game that Scott Fuck lost the year before he got fired. I knew that game was it because I was watching a team that was listless and they looked like a MAC team playing in the Big Ten.
Oh, good old Mac Tuesdays.
It wasn't
Action.
It wasn't about
Action.
wanting to win. It was about not wanting to lose. I think that was the attitude.
It's just when I watch this Rule team, I have to see a method to the madness.
Yes.
And not weird personnel changes for whatever
For
reason.
no fucking reason.
Like we had the best practice we've ever had. And so-and-so did great, but we just didn't see him this Saturday. I'm sorry, guys. He just wasn't available.
How are you going to talk up somebody in whole offseason and not ever play them?
Best ability, guys. Availability. And half the guys were not available. You say 2021, like 2020, I'd have been 2021.
2021.
2020. When you played that Minnesota team, when they were out,
The hoodie. Oh, yeah.
90% of their roster, and they come into Lincoln and beat you.
Bad.
Or
That's when I knew, no, this isn't it. And that's right about when the podcast started. And I was like, I'm going to use this platform to not be negative, but to call out the things that people are not talking about.
So
why are we not prepared to beat a team that has fucking all walk-ons playing? Right? Why are we not prepared to beat a team that is last in the country in run defense, and then you're throwing the ball 50 times in the game? Why? What is?
And it was cold out.
Yes.
Why the fuck are you throwing?
Why are we throwing the ball 50 times when you're playing a team who has one of the worst rush defenses in the country? That's when you know it's coaching.
That's what I'm talking about. After 6 games,
you should be able to know.
I should be able to sit there and say, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. Oh, you called that here? That makes sense. That's the shit I'm talking about.
yeah, no, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
And to silence the argument for what Mike just said before anyone even says it, and I know it's not going to be any of us at this table, sure, the best teams, the best coaches do get upset, and they take bad losses. But when you do it consistently, there is no excuse. There is no, oh, well, if this happened, no, I don't want to hear it. Under the previous administration, those kinds of things happen so consistently that there is just no defense for it.
You're not close. You're just, that's who you are.
That's your identity.
You're a loser.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's just no defense.
See, and as a football coach, when I coached high school, like, of course, I was in an OPS school, and then winning was not a thing.
No.
So that's what makes it different when I do look at the players, because one, their route to get to their next level has to go through a university. And if we're chosen, we're chosen. So I'm more looking, are they put in the right position to do something positive?
Yes.
Or are they taken back?
Yeah.
So then that's when the wins, losses, it's hard for me, especially after losing for so long, it's hard for me to get into the wins, losses, because I'm more of, how can we help these kids do what they came here to do? I mean, Prohaska, I remember coaching the kid with Damon out at freaking the junior Skyhawks. That dude's a baller, but he's been hurt. So is that an accountability of the strength and conditioning, the way that's going? That's got to come up in question, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Knees are hard on all linemen.
Especially when you're
And
6'9".
And seeing Teddy get down, I feel bad, man, because I'm like, I couldn't imagine trying to get in a position to do what you got to do.
He looks like Godzilla trying to get into a defensive stance.
It does.
Jesus, man.
And it's like, we've got to do something different to better the kids. So I'm hoping with the rule, that is the one thing that everybody's talked about how great he is to get these kids to where they want to be. That's what I want to see.
So you've said you were coaching for 8 years?
Yes.
So last week, we had Jeff Chestnut and Josh Rader on from Husker Baseball.
Nice.
It was very cool. And they talked about, their journey to becoming, the respectively all-time appearance leader and all-time saves leader, and how they got there through their work, and not necessarily, like when they walked in, they weren't necessarily the most talented guys. When you were coaching, were you looking for those guys that were willing to grind as opposed to just pure talent?
Yeah, because they wanted it. But the thing is, in OPS, when you're dealing with some of the schools, these kids don't know what one is.
No.
So you can't go into you first join an OPS school to coach, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to give them all this fire. You're just trying to get them through the season. You're getting them better mentally, physically, but you're getting them through the season. You're lucky if you finish the season with even half of what you started with, because their fire isn't the same as yours and ours. It's hard to explain, because I coached under Chris Fant. He went all the way. He played for Omaha Beef. He did all that stuff. He played for Kearney. They won champions. I mean, imagine going from championship, and you come to an OPS school, and these kids don't know what a championship even means. But in the long run, it's more about what they're doing than it is even the game of football.
Yes,
like
it's outside of football.
But I want to tell you, I interviewed Chris Bober, who had a great 8 years in NFL. The first thing he said is, in high school, I sucked. As a junior, I really sucked. He learned it all beyond at UNO before that. And I asked him that, like, how do you go back to UNO and you can't even give back to the sport you love because it's no longer?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do for that? Everybody loves, I want to go back to my alma mater and give back, but that's why he's in Omaha.
Big soccer fan now, right?
Big soccer. You better love that soccer.
Not wrestling.
But even an NFL guy that has played for 8 years does not have a thing to tell you to say that he sucked and wasn't even this top, like, 5-star everything.
Yeah.
Brandon Kinney, you guys have BK on.
Yeah.
He had a JUCO route.
He had all the talent in the world, but he didn't do the enough early. And then when he tried later, it bit him on the backside. So it's like, there's the story to get them to where they are. You never know what you're going to get, because Chris Bober will tell you now, I was not an NFL player in high school like everybody thinks of the next Raiola. I mean, obviously we talk about Raiola about college, but obviously you think, oh, you're number one in the country. You've got to get to the NFL, right?
Right.
But I mean, will it coincide? It might.
So you asked us that question of, our impressions of Nebraska football. What is your impression in the last?
Mine is just looking at the game differently.
Yeah.
Looking at the whys. I've just really gotten into asking why they're doing it. But then when you see a safety, because I go to the games and I sat in the student section because that's where coaches get to sit sometimes with passes, whatever. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching more of like what the safe, because I coach defensive backs. Everybody's like, oh, you're a big guy. Why would you coach defensive backs? Because either you got speed or you don't. I'm going to teach you the procedure to get to where you need to be. I can't teach you if you got speed. You either got it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm looking at the DBs. And when you see the safety yelling at a linebacker to move his ass and he ain't moving, and then the play goes right there, like, I'm seeing that stuff more than I am seeing a win and loss. Is the defense the team? Because obviously there is an aspect of the players. Are the players working together? But when you know that they're not communicating right, that starts above them, right? So then you're like, okay, now how are they trying to better themselves? I mean, you look at that Cam Taylor-Britt, man, that dude balled out, but he also communicated. He was able to move to the safety and go back to the corner and help out wherever's needed. But no one took his command when he was at safety because they're not wanting it.
Mm-hmm.
So who's at fault? It's like I always tell people, the person at fault starts above them. And if I'm a head coach, I'm questioning the linebacker. Why is your linebacker not listening? Then once that guy tells me why, then I go above him if he ain't getting the right answer after that. I mean, it starts there. But, I mean, everybody thought that guy was here for everything, and I did too. Everybody bought the
we all did.
But then when you see it, you got to look elsewhere because the wins, losses don't mean enough for me to consistently watch it for that reason.
I really think that you could sum up that whole tenure with why. That's it.
Yeah.
Why is your personnel management like this? Like all the stuff that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
We consistently on this podcast go, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And guess what? We never have like a rational answer to the shit that's going on.
Why are we
all I'm
running?
looking for.
Why are we running Wan'Dale Robinson up the middle 20 times a game? Why?
Hey,
Why?
I think the easiest question is you start with, why did we hire a coach out of the AAC to come into the fucking Big Ten?
No, don't do that.
But hold on.
Yes, I can do that.
No, you can't.
Hey, but listen.
You weren't asking
wrong.
That. You weren't asking
Yes,
that
I
when-
was.
No.
We were all wrong.
Hey,
We were all wrong.
but here's my thing. Here, listen to this. How about just ask some of the players why or how they stayed for as long as they did through this? Because if your goal is to get to where you want to be, would you put up with something that isn't the fashion that we don't see and all we do is we don't hear it until he's gone? Would you have put up with a podcast where your boys just show up whenever they want to? No, you wouldn't do it.
They do that though.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, as a player, the players have to speak too. But when we don't see them speak, I mean, yeah, we get a couple that'll transfer, but everybody gets those.
Yeah.
But if we had a lump sum of like a Cam Taylor-Britt and all the big names leave, that would tell us something different because I do understand they can't come out and just talk about it.
Well, it'll hurt the future where they go.
Exactly. So for them, they can control that future as well and just, hey, this isn't for me. I mean, we saw like Betts leave and stuff like that, but it didn't feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel the same.
Well, KDUB, you were talking earlier about how when you were coaching, like you were focused on like the kids themselves, right? And like their well-being. And with the previous regime, I don't think they were probably the best at establishing relationships maybe or modeling behavior and like setting a good example for the players that you're coaching. And now you look at Rule, so far, seems like it's total 180.
But see, we didn't know those things.
No.
Like that's what I think hurts us as a fan is the fact of how come this never came out? Like, why didn't this come out before? It really took Mickey Joseph to be on the backside for things to come to light.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you have thought it would have happened if it was someone else? If it wasn't an ex-Husker that was as an assistant coach? No, because Mickey Joseph took pride. He loved the Huskers.
Yeah.
And we all thought that guy loved the Huskers, at least.
Well, that's what we thought.
Well, look, you have the guy come in. He's the golden child savior. Can do nothing wrong.
I wouldn't want that pressure either, but
no.
Well, no, and he was treated like a king, right? I have the run of this fucking town.
Yeah.
And sometimes that might get to your head. Maybe it got to his head. I don't know.
Like if you win a jackpot, you know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, I bet I could have $670 million and I'll be a great guy. No, you don't know until you have it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's like after year 2, year 3, it's like, what is going on there? Because they are undisciplined, and usually the players, the team reflect the head coach. So yeah, it's after year 2, it's like, well, what is going on here? But yeah, you've got connections that probably don't want to say anything, and I don't know. And now that he's gone, it's convenient to come out with these stories.
Well, yeah, I mean, I talked to JoJo Doman, and one of the things he said was just the actual physical workouts and stuff. He said some of it's not getting you better. You know, all them cool videos are all cool for some things, but it's not cool for the end result.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not getting a W.
No.
I believe our previous head coach hit 2 lotteries. The first one being Mackenzie Milton. Mackenzie Milton made that season for him down at UCF. I don't think I'm alone in saying
No,
that.
he was like a Max. He was just like a Max.
Yeah.
He would ball out until he was in tears or off the field, unfortunately.
And Kyle, you told me earlier that I was not saying that I didn't want that head coach at that time, and I was very open at that time that I did not want him. Seeing the competition they had played during that regular season, sure, they beat Auburn in that bowl, and that's great. You shake your head all you want. I was very open.
Well, yeah, but you can't tell me you don't feed off of Florida.
You and Kyle were the biggest. We've sat here for 3 years now, and you've not once said that.
Here's the thing. We could have hired Jared Hall as our next head coach, and I would have supported him.
Figure it out.
He's like, give me some Mo.
I am a Husker fan. It does not matter who we hire. I will support them. I did not want Scott as our head coach. I supported him. I will say that openly.
Hindsight.
We're going to find the episode where we talk about this.
Tonight, I'm going to find the screenshots of my Facebook statuses to send to you guys so you can see my statement.
So December 2017,
the second lottery that he hit was the Husker job. And when he hit his second lottery, he was done. I genuinely believe his first season he did care. Genuinely believe his first season he did care.
Yeah,
the second season he sort of cared.
When we couldn't play Akron, that already told you something was not going to go. Like
it was an omen.
It just is. Only those things just don't happen.
They don't happen anywhere.
Never canceled a game ever that I know of in my time.
Yeah,
ever.
Only Nebraska.
Only.
But of course we canceled. I mean, I remember trying to rush home. I was actually DJing a Sweet 16. Like I remember it to the T. It was kind of humid, like in here. But anyways, I was outside by myself because all the kids were inside because it was so hot outside. And I'm like, man, this weather's really weird. So then I pack up my stuff. I didn't even text anybody. I'm like hurrying over to my dad's. I'm like, the game start? No. I'm like, man, I was like in this rush. And then of course the storm comes through, but you're like you felt the way it was good. Like as soon as that happened, I knew I just had these feelings. Like you're like, it just can't go right. It never can go right from something like that.
So a question that I believe we've asked multiple times. Do you believe if the Akron game doesn't get stormed out, do you believe that tenure goes any differently?
Ooh, that's a good. I already thought we were going to lose because
against Akron.
I did because Akron was actually coming out of a good year the year before.
And now that we know
and they actually finished in that year good. So I most definitely did not have it marked down as a W. But the atmosphere that you create that first game might have been the difference maker to perceive the win that could have started off in a good note. Would it have changed it? I think the possibilities are there because a win changes everything, right?
Yeah, it's contagious.
It is. But if you don't know how to win, you can't just teach someone how to win. They also have to want to win. Like, I can't teach you how to win. It's just like you can't teach someone how to be a lead talk on a podcast. They either got it or they don't.
Jared.
I mean, I'm just saying you.
I don't. What am I doing?
I hate to say it. You either have the mojo to want to do it no matter what. So even if it goes bad, you either want to do better or you don't. Like, I can't make you want it.
I think after seeing a Scott fuck coach team for 4+ years, I'm pretty sure it probably wouldn't have been that much different.
Yeah.
Probably add one more dub to the overall record.
Maybe.
Because you saw, look, Troy, I know they had a backup, but it's just,
Troy, Jesus.
it's just there's too many instances
Nah,
Georgia
those losses.
Southern.
I mean,
Yeah,
Georgia Southern. Oh my god.
Hey, those are in the
okay.
college football Hall
And
of
my
Fame now.
wishes and hopes for the Huskers, I would say yes. I would think it would, but I mean, there was just so much fire and so much hype. I mean,
I hear you.
But
I don't know. I was
So
in
much
that
rain.
stadium. I was
So
in
much
that stadium though. Kyle, you think you were there too?
Yep.
You could feel the electricity in that. It just felt so awesome, and then just for it to not happen, you were just like,
Suddenly you found yourself singing karaoke with 90,000 people, and you're like,
yeah, and you're like, holy fuck, I'm wearing a fucking poncho. I'm hiding underneath the stadium steps and shit. It was just.
Was
it was weird.
Was the electricity from maybe the lightning?
No,
that
maybe it was weird.
well,
it was
I mean,
just weird.
Just think about the first time they did the fourth quarter lights.
The light show. Yeah.
That was another electric atmosphere that you're like, this is it. This is what's going to. And it was good for one.
And then we lost.
Yeah. So,
right.
This was another thing that was brought up on a recent episode with Eric Francis, I believe. Would you be in favor, and Eric Francis brought this up, not us, of dumping Thunderstruck to go back to Let Me Clear My Throat?
Yeah. I'm just telling you right now, the atmosphere matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
The atmosphere matters. And I'm telling you, the reason I say it is because I've watched it at high school. If I went with what I was told to play, don't get me wrong, because I have overhyped some other teams more than I have the team that I'm supposed to hype up. But the music's right. The music's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it does matter. It's a mental thing because people are like even volleyball. I love doing volleyball because if the home team that I am DJing for, because I do college and I do high school, if the home team is down, the music that I come out with is not going to even bring your attention. You're going to go, what the? As a fan, you're going, this idiot. Yeah. And I'm going, no, you have no idea. I'm letting these kids get to their coach and think of what the coach is saying, not giving a dang about they're not caring about the song.
Yeah.
But as soon as that coach is done, I start ramping it up and start picking it up. So then the girls feel the energy. And it's a game changer. Just people have no idea how much emotions come from music. Music matters. It just does.
Oh, yeah.